Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Oh, wow. Look at all the awesome faces and people. This is fantastic. Hi, I'm Tish Hicks. I'm the master of the VO here in California. And this is our monthly monthly voiceover insight webinar that we call Get VO. So every month on the third Wednesday, we have some sort of gathering webinar where we're bringing you together with either other ways to think about your voiceover or other resources in voiceover, things that you may or may not have known. Today, well, I'd like to first of all introduce Jeffrey Gelbank, who is our Dojo team member who makes all things go. So if you need anything, he is here to help. And really, really excited to introduce today and reintroduce Sonja Smith from Backstage. Some of you might have gotten to talk with Sonja a little bit on Ask the Sensei, our free Q&A on the first Wednesday of every month. She was our guest, and I'm super excited to have you here today, Sonja, to be able to go a little bit more in depth in what's going on at Backstage and how we all, as voiceover performers, at whatever stage of our career, can look to it as an additional resource. So, why don't you introduce yourself, Sonja? And Sonja's going to introduce herself, share a little bit about Backstage and what's going on, and then we'll have a good section of today to answer your questions and get this collaboration, which is what I'm really excited about. This collaboration. Um, so, welcome, Sonja.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Tish. It's a pleasure to be here speaking to all of you again. I'm going to jump right in, I think, and share my screen and share my slides because I have a slide that introduces who I am and shares
Perfect.
little fun facts about me. So let's do that. Alrighty. Excuse me, moving just my face out of the way and then clicking present. Cool. So get the most out of Backstage. Who am I? My name is Sonja. I'm a voiceover casting specialist at Backstage. I'm actually from Toronto, Canada, and I started my career as a voiceover actor and quickly found that my passion lied on the casting side of the voiceover world. And I've been in the VO industry for 10 plus years. So lots of experience on the online casting world. A few fun facts about me is I have a 3-year-old daughter named Lila, a 6-month-old son named Zach. I also have a 15-year-old Pomchi named Callie, a 3-year-old Ophelia, golden retriever named Ophelia. Um, and we bought a farm last year. This is the view out of my back door. And the farm came with a cat named Cooper there. We also have 6 chickens and 3 bunnies. So, outside of my professional career as a voiceover casting specialist, I live and love the farm life here in Canada. So, I'm sure most of you probably know what Backstage is, or something about Backstage that piqued your interest to join us today. Um, but Backstage has been around since 1960. We started as a magazine publication, and we still have our magazine offering digitally and in print. But about 10 years ago, we created an online casting platform where we connect creators or employers to talent all over the world. So, talent pay a membership fee in order to have a profile on our platform. And then through our platform, you can apply to jobs. That's kind of the meat and potatoes of Backstage. So, what are we going to cover today? Today, I'd like to chat with you about setting up your voiceover profile. So, what a great profile looks like, Also, finding and applying to jobs, I'm going to share some tips and tricks. I'm going to give you a peek behind the curtain. I don't know if that's the right saying, industry saying, but I'm going to show you what an employer sees. And then we have a special offer from Backstage for all of you, and then we'll open it up to Q&A. So let's jump in. So your profile is where you're going to showcase who you are, your experience, attach your demo reels, highlight your characters that you can portray, and any other voice abilities you have. A few things is we ask you to upload a photo, which is unique to other platforms because um, Backstage isn't just a voiceover platform. We have actors and performers and crew on our platform. And so a professional headshot will set your profile apart from others. So although it's something that you may not think you need as a voiceover professional, on Backstage, it really goes a long way to have a professional headshot. Also, when you're completing your profile, you want to aim for the 10 out of 10 profile completeness score. That is going to ensure that your profile is going to match in our, not match, your profile is going to be found by employers when they're searching through our talent database or when they're searching through the application manager to find your audition if you apply. So making sure your profile is complete is really important. Also, another thing I want to highlight is with the one membership, you get access to create 3 profiles: a voiceover profile, an actor and performer profile, and a crew profile. So one membership, 3 profiles, and you also have access to all of those jobs posted on the platform. So if you have interest in doing some on-camera work or some behind-the-scenes sound editing for crew, absolutely, I encourage you to create those profiles as well. Lastly, we recently acquired Mandy and Star Now, and we are migrating the 3 platforms. So your profile information will actually carry over across all 3 platforms. So you can set it up once, and then when you log in on the other platforms, all your information will already be there and complete. So making that process easier for you all. So what does a great profile look like? Whoopsie, I think I clicked a link by accident. Sorry about that. What does a great profile look like? So I have a few examples here. Michael, Michelle, and Alan. Let me just click on the link to take you to an example. And I apologize, it's taking a long time to load. So here's Michael's profile. He has his professional headshot, a little about me section, his voice characteristics, his voice abilities, his voice reels, samples, credits, representation, links to all his websites and social media, and then his home studio information. So this is a great example of a full and complete profile. You can also see he also has an actor and performer profile that you can toggle between. I'll show you Michelle's quickly. And sorry, it's taking a little bit to load. My farm internet, I'll blame it on that. Michelle, again, has a great little short and sweet about me section, her characteristics, her abilities, credits, reels, and website there. A little bit more simple, but that's okay. It's complete here, and that's important. And lastly, I'll highlight Alan Shire's. Sorry about this super slow internet. You know what? I feel like you've seen enough great profiles. You know what a great profile looks like. The most important part is that it is complete. So we'll move on from that. So now you've created your profile and you're ready to find work. So a few tips and tricks I have is you want to find jobs in the Find Jobs tab and set up a saved search alert. So you'll apply the relevant filters, then review the project details. If it sounds like something you'd like to apply for, deliver your product. I'm winking at you, Tish, because I learned that the last time we spoke. Um, so let me show you what that looks like on site.
And while you're switching the stage, in case you weren't here, in case you weren't here and Ask the Sensei, at the dojo we're all about shifting everything about us as actors into empowerment, and a lot of the language around how we do things as actors is about submitting and submit. I submit. I give all my power to you. So what Sonja was just referring to is doing a little semantic shift of going, I deliver my product to you, the client. So thank you. Thank you for that.
So here is the Find Jobs tab here. And this is where you can find the open casting calls and auditions. So you can search all jobs, or you can go to just voiceover jobs and then use the filter panel in order to filter relevant jobs to your liking. So you can apply your gender filter, an age filter. Location filter isn't as relevant for voiceover. Compensation, do you only want to see the paid opportunities? We do have a few unpaid opportunities on Backstage. Most of them are student projects, to be honest and completely transparent. But if you only want to see the paid opportunities, you'll put that there. You can select the production type if you only want to work on specific type of work. And then the role type voiceover, you can put union as well, and then search. And then this is going to bring up the listings or calls that meet that search criteria. Then select Save Search. This is going to create your saved search alerts. So anytime, I'm going to do paid VO, for example, anytime a job that matches this search criteria gets posted, you will get an email notification in digest form once a day, in digest form once a week, as the new listing comes in. So as it gets posted, or you don't want to be notified. I recommend as a new listing comes in, because then you can quickly decide if it's right for you and then record your audition and apply if you'd like. And then save. So that's how you set up your saved search alerts, and they're all listed here. You can edit them and delete them as you wish, but feel free to create these saved searches, and then that's how you get notified when a job that meets your search criteria gets posted. So let's say you click on this job and it looks like something you are interested in applying to. You can see the company information, a description, what they're looking for the voiceover, how much it pays, where it's going to be submitted, all of that. Then you simply click apply and you fill out the form, uploading your custom audition if they've requested it, and go from there. So that's how finding and auditioning to jobs works on Backstage. Next. So behind the curtain, what does an employer see? So I'd love to take you on a tour of the platform as an employer, because I think a lot of talent don't get to see what an employer sees. And sometimes having that insight will really help you in knowing what to put forward and how to stand out. So I'm happy to do that and take you on a little tour. And then I'm going to make sure I highlight these important things when I go on my tour, but I'll keep them there for reference for right now. So let me just hop back onto Backstage, and I'm actually going to log out of my account and I'm going to log into an employer's account. So bear with me for 1 second. Okay. So when an employer logs in, they're taken to their casting dashboard where they have access to see all of the projects that they've posted, as well as invite collaborators um, to review. So they can invite collaborators to review auditions together and collaborate on a project together. So if a employer wants to review applications and auditions, they go to the application manager, and this is what it looks like. At Backstage, we pride ourselves on being equal opportunity for all. So whether you are new or you are a seasoned pro, an employer will not know the difference. As long as you have, that professional quality sound, that's what you're being judged off of, your performance, nothing else, really. So that's one thing to keep in mind. With that being said, a few little tips I have is a lot of employers will use this filter applicants panel because look, this job got 459 auditions or applications. So that's a lot for an employer to have to go through. So they will filter through the applicants in order to find what's the relevant applications to them. So this is why you want your profile to be as complete as possible, because if they use a filter that you don't have on your profile, you're going to be left out. Your audition's going to be left out. The most important one, I think, is that you fill out your home studio details, because a lot of employers will filter by that in order to ensure that they're working with someone that has a home studio. It's most common practice nowadays. So once that filter has applied, you'll see it knocks down a whole bunch more of the auditions that don't have that. And then down here, an employer, if they requested a pre-screen, will filter by has pre-screen. So if the employer requested that custom audition from you, please upload it, because you'll can if you don't. Then down here, an employer will click play.
Therapy is tailored to your budget.
And just like that, listen to all the auditions.
Therapy that is tailored.
So that's it. If they click on your name, that's where they see your cover letter. So cover letters are important because if they like you, they'll click on your name and that's where they're going to learn more about you. So I would always recommend including a cover letter. Also, I would recommend adding your contact information on your profile. We see ourselves as matchmakers. We want to connect you directly to the client. So if they like you, they can choose to message you through the platform or call you or email you directly and build relationships with you off-site. So that's what it looks like behind the curtain. Woohoo! And then lastly, we have a special offer for you all. It's for new members only. It's a 30-day free trial. If you click this link, and I think Jeffrey's going to share it with everyone here and afterwards as well, you'll be taken to the subscription page to sign up for the free trial, or use the promo code VO Dojo at checkout. If this link doesn't work, just remember VO Dojo promo code, and that'll get you a 30-day free trial. So that was kind of my little presentation of Backstage and kind of the tools you have available to you. I'd love to open it up now to answer any questions.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, Sonja, that wasn't little. It was straightforward and direct, and actually has huge potential. So it's actually a really powerful presentation and a most generous and lovely offer and opportunity. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this here. I think when we are introduced to something new, I know everyone running their voiceover business needs to take into consideration, where are we investing in opportunities? So to have a chance to explore with a little guidance how to optimize. That's the other thing. You sign up for something like, oh, I didn't put the profile on, or is my profile working? So what a fantastic combination here. Awesome. Jeffrey, how do we wanna do, we're doing, questions in the chat, and then we'll call on people as
Yeah,
usual? Okay.
sounds good.
All right. Well, let's jump in. I know I've got a million questions in my head, but I always do. So, Jeffrey, take it away.
All right, then our first question we have is from Becca Barber. If you get called on, if you'd like to unmute yourself and come into the room, we always like to hear the voices coming from the people with questions. So Becca, go ahead and unmute yourself and pose your question, please.
Hi. If you're brand new, hi. If you don't have actual work that you've done yet, and you want to make your profile complete, would you suggest doing samples for your reels?
Yes.
Or would you just, yes.
Yes. So it's better to have something than nothing. We offer a few sample scripts for you to record with some artistic direction in, I think, 3 different categories. So you can record an animation sample, a corporate sample, and maybe a narration sample as well. And so I would recommend absolutely, if you don't have any examples of work because you're brand new, record those samples using the sample scripts that we've given and add those to your profile.
And where do we find those?
When you're completing your profile, they will be there. So under the voice samples section. So there's one section called voice samples and there's one section called reels. So it'll be under the samples.
And is that an option to use your scripts, or that's the preferred method to use your scripts?
It's the preferred method to use.
Okay, so if you don't have your fully produced demo yet, here's an opportunity to create an equal playing field of samples.
That's right.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay. All right. Cool. Very well thought out. Awesome. Great question, Becca. Take it away, Jeffrey.
Thank you, Becca. And then the next question that we have is coming from Frankie regarding membership. Now, Sonja, I know that you membership is not your department. Would it be helpful if I pulled the link up for the membership page on Backstage?
Sure. Yes,
okay.
Please. I was mentioning to Jeffrey that I work on the employer side of the platform, so I'm very well versed in that. However, I don't ever, sign up talent and see the membership plans that we're offering. So I don't know, honestly, what the plans are. Also, because I'm located in Canada, I see something different than you see
That's interesting.
in the United States. I see a Canadian price offering.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what the American offering is. So Jeffrey will pull that up and share it with you. I believe it to be pretty low cost and affordable, again, with our aim to kind of make the platform accessible to all levels.
Fantastic.
All right. And so that was by Frank. Frank, I'll be sure to answer your question in the chat as soon as I pull up that link. We will then jump to Tanya. Tanya Grant, please come into the room.
Hi, thank you. My question was, when blending those Mandy and Backstage profiles, does one take precedent over the other? Because I have one profile that's probably more complete than the other, and I want to be represented best as possible. Thank you.
That's a great question. Tanya, thank you. I don't know the answer to that. Yeah, maybe you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Do you have LinkedIn?
I do, sure.
Yeah. Do you want to connect with me there and I'll look into it for you?
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And Backstage is international? Is it just North American or is it international? Both with opportunities and people who are using it.
Backstage is international. Absolutely. Yes. I think majority of the jobs are in North America. However, we have a lot in UK, a lot of employers in the UK, a lot in Australia as well. So absolutely, if you're looking to reach those employers in those markets, it is a great place.
Cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. And Sonja, I went ahead and I posted your LinkedIn link in the chat.
Awesome.
Great. So if anybody would like to connect with Sonja, you can do so over LinkedIn. Next question we have is from Dwight. Dwight, please come into the room and pose your question.
Are you here, Dwight?
Yeah. And if for some reason, there we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
there.
Sorry about that. I just wanted to know, when a client reviews the auditions, do they see them in chronological order of when they were submitted, or is it randomized in a different way? The reason I ask that is because, obviously there are sites where if you don't respond right away when the thing gets published, you're going to be at the bottom of the list and probably not even get listened to.
Yeah, that's a great question, Stephen. The default sort setting in the application manager is by application updated, is how the auditions are being sorted. So the most recent updated auditions will show first. Yeah.
The most recent. So in other words, if they see the ones that were submitted most recently to when they go on and check.
That's right.
That's interesting. Okay. So if you audition first, you're going to be listened to last.
That's right.
Or alternatively, if they're listening as they come in, you'll be first, right? Depending on what someone's process is, what the employer's process is, right?
Exactly.
Sure, I get
or
that.
maybe they start from the bottom.
But the list comes in most recent. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Great questions. Great, just operational questions and strategizing questions, because that becomes then what is this game and how do we optimize that? It's really good.
Right. Like, I mean, with like voices.com, it's like, if you don't get your stuff in right away, it's not, you're going to be at the very bottom. So that's one of the reasons why I don't use them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Sure.
Thank you. All right. Next question comes up from Jed Bonstead Clark. Come on in.
Hey all, Sonja, you seem to be our guardian angel for today. I'm in the UK. Which would be, is it better to go with Mandy or Backstage? I mean, this is a convoluted question because if they are sort of coming together, are they going to end up being one site? Is it better to work from the UK on Mandy more than Backstage? Do I set the same? That sort of thing. Thoughts on that?
Great question. You will find different jobs on the different platforms. So although we are migrating profiles, the platforms are still going to exist separately. So it really depends what type of work are you looking for. Are you looking for voiceover work? Are you looking for on-camera work? Are you looking for crew work? So I'll ask you, what
So
work?
VO work primarily.
So I would suggest Backstage. We have more voiceover jobs posted on Backstage than on Mandy. Mandy is more on camera and crew focused, to be honest, to be fully transparent. So you'll get a lot more opportunities for that type of work there. Whereas Backstage, you'll find more on Backstage for voiceover.
So do you get some people who end up with a sort of a profile on both then, in which case, and end up sort of paying a double subscription? Does that work, or do you sort of end up sticking to one, do you find?
At this time it is a double subscription, again, because the jobs that are posted on the platform are different. So you're paying to access those jobs, and they're not the same. If that changes in the future, there may be a change, but I'm not part of those conversations.
And then one more thing, I just noticed I clicked on the link with the trial offer on, which doesn't work from the UK. So is there by chance anything you have for us few people who might be in the UK who are on this?
Yeah, so the promo code VO Dojo will work.
Okay.
Yeah.
All caps, right?
All caps.
Yeah,
Great.
that might make a
If it
difference.
doesn't, Tom, let me know.
Great.
Okay, cool.
Thanks, Sonia. Much
welcome.
appreciated.
You're welcome.
All right, great. Next up is Pat Kennedy.
Hi, Sonja. How are you?
I'm great, Pat. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. Quick, when you did the search for voiceover, should you have a separate search for each different genre you want to do? Is that correct, or put them all into one?
It's up to you. It's up to you. If you would like to be alerted every time an animation job is posted, set up a save search for that. But if you just want to be alerted every time a paid job is posted, set up a search for that. So it's really up to you in how you want to set up those alerts. My suggestion would be to set up more than you think you're going to need because you don't want to miss an opportunity. So I'd rather, and this is just my opinion, but I'd rather have more alerts and then decide which ones I like and don't like than not seeing it, not being alerted, and missing out on a really great opportunity.
Oh, great. Thank you, Sonja.
You're welcome.
All righty, thanks. All right, next up, next question is coming from Stephen Knight. Stephen, if you,
Hi,
there we go.
Yeah, I'm here. Hi. Sonja, hi. On one of the Ask Your Senseis, it may have been the first one you appeared on, you asked for feedback for the pre-screens. And for a year now, I've been trying to get it to you. For the talent, you say you work on the client side, and that becomes obvious with these pre-screens. They're even starting to do them on the self-tape, videotape side as well. It takes a lot of work for a professional to put an audition together in a pre-screen. A pre-screen is like an audition for an actor, a professional. He or she doesn't just, dash it off the way he would with the reels that he's done, the previous work that he's done, websites, et cetera, all the other links that you listed that would be on our profile. Mm-hmm. So I found that with pre-screens, I mean, it's like applying, but being with everybody else who's applying with their audition. I've tried to contact with you and even Lincoln. I haven't gotten any response. There's absolutely none at, perhaps because I'm talent. But I must say that I shared this with groups. One has 380, one has 12. And none of them are joining Backstage because of the pre-screens. What's being done about feedback for the pre-screens, Sonja?
Firstly, I'm sorry that I've missed your messages, Stephen. It's 100% not intentional, and I'm more than happy to take your feedback to heart and take it to my team. Just so I understand, your feedback is that it takes a lot of work for you to deliver your audition via pre-screen versus submitting, again, Tish, the semantics, versus applying with your demo and your profiles. Is that correct?
Yes, because applying with a demo and profile, at least it gives the client an opportunity to take a look and sort them out. It's like looking at a resume. But with pre-screens, everybody has to, when I say everybody has to, I've submitted without, and it wasn't even considered. It bounces back from Backstage often and says, hey, you haven't, words to the effect of, hey, you haven't done a pre-screen. If you really want to be considered, do the pre-screen.
Yeah. So I'll give you the feedback from the employer side. So the reason why an employer requests a pre-screen from talent is because they want to know, they want to hear what you sound like reading in your studio, reading their words so that they can properly vet you. They won't be able to properly vet talent from their demos quickly because a lot of those times they are professionally produced and not equal to the sound of a home studio. So the reason why employers really like the pre-screen auditions is because it allows them to quickly pre-vet the talent. And that's a lot of the reason why employers use Backstage and post on Backstage is because they have really quick turnarounds and they don't have time to go through an agency or set up a casting call in person. And they need to just quickly find a voice to complete their job and their project. And so the pre-screen actually is a very beneficial tool for them.
Oh, I understand that. Yeah, absolutely. For the client, for your client.
Yeah. For talent, if it is, too much work, let's say they gave you a huge page of script, just read a little bit of it. I would say that would be my suggestion is don't do the full thing. Just give them a small sample of it so it's not as much work.
That's not the point. The point is that a professional will take an audition, which is what the pre-screens really are. We'll record it, maybe do a couple takes if they're pros. Sometimes if they're nervous, they'll do more. Then they want to edit it, especially since you've pointed out that the client is looking to see how it sounds from where you're recording from, because many of the jobs are recording at home or home studios. So that takes time. So we're talking, just for the fun of it, knowing you would come up, and I was hoping to make this workshop. I did one as quickly as possible. I did one take, I edited it, and it was still 40 minutes by the time I sent it off, and Backstage had it with the pre-screen. So you consider 40 minutes, and that was just quickly from I've been in the voiceover industry for 40 years, 45 years now. So I can do things pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of time just for applying for a job and being anyway, I've already said it.
I hear you. And I appreciate you sharing the feedback, and I'll definitely share it with my team. I know that on Backstage, we don't make pre-screens mandatory. They're absolutely optional. So keep that in mind, I guess. And then from the employer and from the talent side is that you can still apply without the pre-screen if you do want to get your application and your profile in front of the employer.
Got it.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you, Sonja.
You're welcome.
Okay, next question coming in is from Tom Cooper. Tom, go ahead and come into the room and pose your question.
Hello, all.
Hi, Tom.
I go out of my way to have things in my studio and software certified. For example, my Source Connect software is certified by Source Connect. Each year I get recertified and I'm marked as a certified user, which, they test the connections and all that stuff. My booth is a George the Tech Whittam's, approved booth, meet all those standards. Is there a place for me to put all this information in my profile?
Right now, the place you would put that information is under the home studio section.
So you just write it in. There's no place that says this is approved here, or certified, asking for certifications. Okay.
That's right. So it's a free form box, the home studio section, free form box for you to fill out and describe your home studio. I would include as much detail there as possible. The reason being is if an employer is searching for a certified Source Connect home studio, they can search our keywords in the talent database and that will pull up your profile. So our keyword search searches all words used on a talent's profile to pull up any relevant keywords that they find on your profile.
Okay.
The more information you can put there, the better the employer will be at finding you when they're searching for that specifically.
Okay. One more question to this. Is there any advantage to putting a raw file, sound file, up with the samples? I mean, do you have sound engineers that are looking to hear what your booth sounds like?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that one.
All right.
Sonja just got tech stare like, I don't know what you are talking about.
It's definitely a Sensei Dan question.
All right, super. Thank you.
You're welcome, Tom.
All right.
Okay, next on the list we have so folks, when there's multiple questions coming from the same user, we try to get everybody to have a chance to ask their question first, and then we will go to folks who have already had a chance to bring their voice into the room. So we are going to hopefully circle back around, and I'm going to go to Tom Creel next. Tom, go ahead and come into the room and pose your question.
Yeah, I have two questions actually. The first is, who uses Backstage as opposed to people who post their jobs on Actors Access, where it goes to various agents? I assume Backstage does not do that. That's one question. And the other question is, how much equipment is considered to be a home studio?
Great questions. To answer the first one, we do have agents on Backstage. It's a new tool, but a growing tool. So absolutely agents and rosters are on Backstage, and that type of work is coming through Backstage. With that being said, I think if I'm speaking to Voiceover specifically, the majority of jobs that are posted on Backstage are in the podcast category, as well as animation. And then next to that would be the corporate commercial brand type work, online ad type of projects. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think it does. So
Okay.
the distinction, I understand.
You understand. Okay, cool. Yeah, we don't have the big name union projects on Backstage, but we're gunning for them, and we have the tools built to hopefully get them one day. And we're starting, actually, we just had a project posted for ABC, a documentary series. So that was a big network project, paying union rates and all of that. So, yeah.
Let me just understand, I do have one caveat there. So if somebody calls to Backstage and says, I've got a voiceover job, that is not sent to agents. Is that correct? There's no way that the inquiry goes to agents. Is that correct?
Yes and no. So when an employer posts a job on Backstage, agents do have access to see that job, and they can submit talent from their roster. We do have that feature and tool set up on Backstage. Yes. However, it's a new tool and a growing tool. So we don't have as many as I think other platforms do. And majority of the jobs that are posted and applied to are direct from employer to talent, connecting them directly without an agent in the middle.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then part two of the question, can you refresh my memory, please?
Perhaps.
I believe it was something to do with how much equipment qualifies, or
Yes, the home studio question. Thanks, Jeffrey.
Thank you, too.
I mean, a home studio can be considered, it could be your iPhone. It could be considered a home studio technology in your home studio. Is it professional quality? No. My answer would be no. However, that could be considered a home studio. And for a lot of the on-camera talent, the UGC content creators, they are just using their phone as their home studio and a ring light, and they explain that in their home studio capabilities. That's why we've left it so blank and allow you to kind of fill in those details, because we need it to meet the requirements of all types of talent at all levels. So yeah, does that answer your question?
Yes, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. Next question we have is coming from Shaquana. Shaquana, come on in. Good to see you.
Hey, Jeffrey. Also, hi, Tish. Hi, Kat. I see you on here too. Hi, everyone from the VO Dojo. Sonja, thank you for being here. And I also want to say, because I don't think anybody has said it, your voice is so calming and so soothing. And I feel like if you told me the house was on fire, I would walk out like, it's fine. We're going to be okay. Nobody's going to get hurt. But okay. All right. Let me keep going. All right. So my question is, can you see how many other people auditioned for a job when, oh, yep, I see your head. I see your head.
That's a great question, but no.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I have a follow-up question. Do you get an email alert when a job is posted?
You can set up the saved search alerts to notify you as a job is posted. Yes.
Okay.
I recommend doing that. But you can choose when you're setting up the saved search how you want to be notified and when. So, yeah, the tip always is when you get that alert to apply as soon as you can and get your audition in as soon as you can. With that being said, I will throw this out there, and this is just a little insider knowledge from me, little extra tip for everyone. Don't just rely on those email alerts, because they can be delayed and then you've missed an opportunity and the project has expired or people have applied before you. So my tip would be, if you're serious about finding work on Backstage, refresh and check the casting call tab, the Find Jobs tab, frequently, because something could just get posted and you could see it before everyone else gets alerted and get your audition in as one of the first. And hopefully, the client hears you, loves you, wants to work with you right away. That's the ideal situation. So don't just rely on those email alerts. Check the site frequently as well.
Okay. Thank you. I don't want to be rude, but I've got to go lead a webinar. So I don't want it to look like, oh, she asked a question then left. But thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, thank you. Good to see you. And off she goes. All right, so next up we have Edward Mauskowitz. Edward said he might have to bounce, so maybe Edward had to leave. I hope I said your last name correctly. Edward said, I'll pose the question for him. What is the difference between Backstage and Backstage LA? I'm getting Edward's getting email notices from both, and seems that there's multiple addresses, even though they only have the one membership. Is there any way to merge them?
I didn't know Backstage LA existed anymore. That's news to me. I believed it was always just Backstage. Maybe Backstage LA just exists in order to forward anyone who lands there historically or has things there historically to backstage.com. But it's just Backstage now. There's no LA, New York division. We did have that in the past, mostly for the on-camera actors. But now we are this international global platform that serves all types of talent. It's just backstage.com.
Okay. And then for merging multiple email addresses, I would assume that would be something that the customer link to Backstage would be an appropriate use for, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. I could drop that in the chat as well.
Thank you.
And yeah, thank you. All right. Next question is from Jacqueline. Jacqueline Smith. Come on in. Good to see you.
Hello. Hi. So yeah, my question was, as someone who is at the beginning, I've done some work. I've done an audio drama, I've done some ADR, but I don't currently have a membership to Backstage. And I also want to thank you for offering the free membership. But if I were to sign up after the free trial was done, or outside of the free trial, and I found that maybe I'm not getting the work that I, expected. Is there an easy cancellation policy? Only because as I'm starting out, I'm really trying to figure out what would be the best ways to invest in myself, but also being a freelancer, so not spreading myself too thin.
That's fair. Again, I'm not 100% sure on the membership offerings. However, I do believe we offer a monthly membership. So, you could try it for a month, pay for the month. If it's not working for you, you could cancel after that. I do believe that if you did pay for the year, you could cancel. We have like a cancel or renew button. But again, I'm not 100% sure on that. And maybe something, yeah, you can ask customer service. I think it was just dropped in the chat there. But yeah, I think trying us out is a great option.
And to clarify along these lines, the 30-day trial is just a 30-day trial. It's not going to roll over into something else. So I think, is that correct, Sonja?
I don't know, Tish, honestly.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I think it would, because you would need to have a credit card for it over. So I would imagine that you can explore these 30 days, and then if you want to, if you find like, ooh, this is something that I want to do, then you can put it up. But I like those questions too, because otherwise you end up like, wait, what have I done?
Well, thank you so much for both of your insight, and thank you, Tish, for dropping that customer service into the chat.
Welcome.
And I could actually add a little bit to this question from personal experience. I've used Backstage on and off for a number of years, like close on to a decade now. And every time it's come to the option to keep renewing or to cancel membership, it's just as easy as me disenrolling from it. And there's usually no further action needed. Anytime there is something that's more of a nuanced question, I usually get a super quick turnaround from the customers at backstage.com. They seem like they are really on top of those emails. Usually within a couple of hours of me asking it, if not like within 2 days. So yeah.
Thank you.
Sure thing. Alrighty. Moving right along. Next question we have is from Phyllis. Phyllis on Phyllis's iPhone.
Hi. My question is there a prejudice against Audacity? I've come across that. Some people see you use Audacity as your DAW, and they'll eliminate you right there. So is that true of any Backstage people?
I don't believe so.
I think as long as your sound sounds good, who cares? That's
what I think.
It's interesting that there would be that you've experienced prejudice about them. And if you did experience prejudice, like I don't know what the situation is, but I'd say, does it sound okay? And what's it to you? Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, you're not doing it on a, I don't know, speak and spell or something like that. Everyone's not even old enough to know what the hell that is. So yeah, awesome. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of it doesn't matter how you make your thing, as long as it sounds good and you're able to deliver what is needed. I think that's the thing.
I'm not even sure where they would know that you've used Audacity for your application on Backstage. I don't think that information is searchable. The only way is maybe if they clicked on your name and saw in your profile that was your editing software.
I thought that would be under studio equipment.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry about that, Phyllis.
All right, since we are getting close to the top of the hour, Sonja, Tish, we still have a couple of questions left, and I'd like to honor everybody who came came for the hour session. And if you do have to get going, totally understand. Do you have some time to stay on a little overtime and answer a couple more questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And
Maybe we do a wrap up for people who need to go. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or do you want to do one more question?
Yeah, we could do a quick wrap up. So I'll go ahead and I'll post everything that we talked about on this call in the chat one more time. And yeah, if Tish, you want to lead us off with that announcement, and then we'll see how many questions we can answer lightning round style.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you all for being here. If you want to put 10 a.m. on the third Wednesday of the month, we'll have some sort of get to know VO, and you can see if it fits in where what you're working on, or opens up some new way of thinking about something in your voiceover career, wherever you may be on it. First Wednesday is also Ask the Sensei. Next month is demo month. Or Ask the Sensei guests are our demo producers, Brittany Cox and Ryan Ricks from Next Level Next Level Voice Demos. And then the Get to Know VO next week or next month is our demo listen derby. So you can send your demo in and run it through the gauntlet, and the gentle, caring, nurturing gauntlet, gentle, caring, caring, nurturing, and really incredibly professional level gauntlet. So that's coming up. Fight clubs are always happening 3 times a month, so check out that. Also, the spring session of Mystery to Mastery is coming up. And if you have done anything with us before and are interested in continuing, give me a call. Get on my calendar, www.thevodojo.com, CWD, all lowercase. And if you are just beginning, we also have our Launchpad version of the You Should Do Voiceover introductory class. It's a self-guided, very, very reasonably priced way to get started and or complement and supplement what you already know. So if you're interested in that, talk to Tyler Ashley. She can be reached. She's available for a voiceover once-over call, and basically just available to talk about where you're at and where you want to be and how things can fit. And you can reach Tyler Ashley at www.thevodojo.com/little VOO, voiceover once over. So I'm so thrilled see all of you and to see some of you back, and love that there's this rhythm of knowing that you can come to the dojo and get some insight and encouragement, and hopefully recognizing the positivity and empowerment that is part of what and how we do it here. So thank y'all. If you have to roll, have a great day, and go get your free 30 days and explore. And and that's exactly 11 o'clock. Okay, good. And if you want to hang out for a couple minutes, we will continue on with questions, and I think there might be enough time. If you have another question, put it in and we'll see what we can get to. So thanks, everybody. Okay, take it away, Jeffrey.
All right. Thanks, everybody. All right. So there's only a couple more questions to go. Becca, let's go ahead and thank you for being patient. Let's get your second question into the room, please.
I had a question about headshots and how professional a headshot is considered professional, because there's a lot of people out there like taking pictures for friends that consider themselves professional. If it looks good, is that sufficient, or do you really need to go somewhere and pay a lot of money and get a headshot?
Just if it looks good, Becca. Yeah, I think you
Okay.
can. I think I took my headshot with my phone, to be honest, in the portrait mode. So I don't think you need to spend money. Absolutely not. You just need something that's going to show you
Okay.
on Backstage and who you are, and just a good quality photo.
Okay. Thanks.
Awesome. Okay. Next question is coming in from Lori Pastor. If you're still with us.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you, Sonja. I'm going to call you the unflappable Sonja Smith. I just wondered how the talent gets paid for the jobs on Backstage. Just go through the website or something like that? And can I use can I use my own paymaster?
Yes. So we do not manage any, okay. Reset. We recently offered a secure payment tool through Backstage. So employers now have the option to pay talent through Backstage. It's a credit card processing third-party platform called Stripe. So the employer initiates the payment, orders an asset from you, an audio file. When it gets delivered and they like it, they pay you directly and it goes into your Stripe account, which I think is similar to PayPal. I think we don't have Stripe here in Canada, or it's not well used. Anyways,
Oh, that's why you're speaking out of like this thing. We're all like, it's Stripe. Okay.
Yeah. So we have that option for employers to use. With that, there's processing fees. There's a 3% fee for the employer and a 2% fee for the talent. However, the employer has the option to cover the talent fee. And a lot of employers, I would say 90% of them, choose to do that. And they're covering the talent fee so that you get the fee that was promised or was posted on the job. With that being said, that was just an option. You can set up, and the employer can set up whatever payment terms work best. So a lot of talent will invoice their employers with a net 30-day payment term. It's your business that you're running, and how you wish to be paid is up to you. And sometimes the employer has certain ways that they need to pay as well. So if you want to introduce a paymaster, or you want to do it directly, you want a check mailed to you, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you can set up whatever you want once you've been cast.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good question. Really good question.
Yeah, thank you. Next, we have a question from Jim. Jim, I hope I said this right. Matusik.
That's it. You got it. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Sonja, my question is one you might not be able to answer, but I'm hoping with your expertise on the employer side, your gut feeling would work. And that is, do you know if employers who post on Backstage also post on multiple other casting sites? Or do you have a feeling that they might, or do you think they're pretty loyal to Backstage and they just do one and done?
Good question. Answering from Voiceover specific, I think they are posting just on Backstage.
Okay.
I think they're getting more than they need, honestly, on Backstage, and they don't need to post on other platforms. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Alrighty. I already did answer this one in the chat, but if you are, I don't think Thomas is in the room any longer. The question that Thomas posed was, is there a free tier? And to my understanding, there is not a free tier, but you can create a profile for free. You could browse the listings for free. So you could take a look and see what's there. And if you'd like to, go ahead and enroll, you get to look through at the dress and the display, but you still have to go in if you want to get the dress. So, or the clothing or the blazer or whatever garment best applies. Yeah, then I believe that is, we got one more, and then I think this will be our last question. Pat Kennedy.
Hi again. Do any of the employers, is there an exchange of contracts between the employee and the voice talent? I mean, I'm thinking about all the publicity about AI and voices stolen and things like that.
Again, we don't manage that at Backstage. We don't manage the inner workings of the job. We kind of, like I said, kind of connect you directly to the employers. Some employers will have contracts that they want you to sign, and they will send those to you once you've been cast. I think vice versa. If you have something that you want them to sign, you can absolutely share it with them before you work with them. But yeah, we don't have any insight or any dealings with the inner workings of the project.
Okay, thank you.
What happens on your date is your business. Yay. Well, this has been fantastic. Sonja, thank you so much for joining us this month and making it sort of backstage month. Always, as I said, the world of voiceover has gotten so diversified to have an opportunity to really look at something that can add to, that people can look at and choose how they're going to incorporate it into their business is really valuable. So thank you. And I look forward to all the goodness ahead of what else we can explore together. So, thanks everybody. I look forward to talking with you if we haven't talked in a while, and we'll see you around the dojo events this coming month. Yay! Thanks, Jeffrey, for keeping everything good and rolling as you always do, and we will see you all soon. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.